morning, good afternoon, good night, good evening, whatever time it is, whatever day it is that you're tuning in. Welcome to the next show. It is currently June 2018. Does anybody else feel like this year is flying by? I feel like New Year's was like last week. It's crazy how fast this month is flying by, but here it is. It's June. It's also Gemini season, so shout out to all the Geminis, all the split personalities, all the twins out there. um, if you got any special Geminis in your life, show them some love, show them some excitement, and have fun, because that's all the Gemini wants to do is have fun and enjoy life. So be carefree, be young at heart, and enjoy your Geminis. All right, so today's topic, we're talking love. Not just love in general, but has anybody heard about this list, this 36 questions that is supposedly going around? It's supposed to cause strangers to fall in love with each other, or at the very least, develop some sort of a bond, or an understanding, or some sort of like for each other. So, excuse me. So I was researching on good old Google, and I found the list. And I'm gonna go over a few of the questions in a minute, but I just want to know, what do you guys think about that? Do you think love is something that you can kind of control and manipulate to your particular wants and needs? Or do you think it's something that is instant, like it's a certain gravitational pull towards two souls? Do you think it's something that grows over time? Or, like this list suggests, do you think it's something that can be conjured? I believe that yes, souls can pull towards each other, giving you like that instant connection that you may feel with someone that you date or marry or whatever. But I also feel that love requires work. It requires you getting to know each other, getting to know each other's good sides, bad sides, acceptance, of course, accepting that the love of your life is an imperfect human being, but to you, they are flawless. So that's a big part of love. I also do believe you can kind of influence um, subtly. I believe in subtle influences. I believe you can kind of appeal more to the person with doing research. Say, since we're in the social media age, we can learn everything we need to know about our person of interest by stalking their Facebook, by taking notice as to what they like. If they're a person who enjoys their Starbucks and they can't go a day without it, and you get knowledge of that, or say you work at Starbucks, you see what I'm saying here? Like, you can kind of manipulate it towards your favor by being observant and by executing kind of, like catering to them in a way. You say, hey, I know Mary likes Starbucks, so every day she comes in at 8:15 a.m., I'm just gonna have it memorized, and I'm gonna be starting on it when she walks through that door, so she doesn't even have to wait. And I'll be like, oh, Mary, hey, here's your coffee. Have a wonderful day. You put in extra smiles. You taking note and being attentive is sort of a way of kind of manipulating the cards in your favor. Okay, so yeah, that's my opinion. Like, there is a certain gravitational pull towards two souls, as well as it takes work to, once you get there, once you get past the awkward "do you like me" circle, yes or no's, um, you now have to put in the work after you get to that point. Before you get to the first hello, you're getting their attention. You're making yourself interesting or visible to them, and you're kind of showing yourself and what you have to offer and how good of a candidate you are to be in the running for their heart. So I think all those options play a role in finding love, attaining love, and keeping love. All right. So without further ado, let me get to these questions. First of all, like I said, there's 36 questions, and these questions lead to love. But before I read them off, I want to kind of explain a little something. So, with the research, um, Mandy Lynn Corton wrote a modern love essay, and this is based on a study by a psychologist, Arthur Aron. Basically, what these people are feeling when they're reading these questions to each other and answering them honestly is, in his words, they feel a mutual vulnerability, and that's what fosters closeness. So now you kind of understand how this can kind of trick the mind into feeling like, hey, this person is kind of, kind of interesting, kind of whatever. So I thought that was kind of interesting. And I've been seeing a lot of these videos circling YouTube and whatnot. The 36 questions that lead to love, and in watching the few videos that I have watched, they do seem by the end of the video like they're at least connected. You know what I mean? Like, I feel some sort of hey, I think they kind of like each other. Hey, I think they might be good together. So I as the viewer feel the connection. So I would be interested in like trying this, just like if I were to go on a date and just ask a few of these questions and say, hey, let's play a little game. Have you heard about the 36 love questions? I mean, would that make me a dork? Probably. But I think it would be interesting. I would like to test the theory out in real life, because granted, I do feel the warm fuzzies after watching those videos. Editing and things like that make a difference. They make, it's meant to foster a feeling for the viewer. That's movie magic. So I would like to test the theory to see in my own view, does it work? Is it bullshit? So, all right, I'm gonna just read a few, and I think I'll answer them too. So, first question: given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest? So I'm assuming dead or alive. So let me think for a second. Who would I want for a dinner guest? Okay, I had to think about it for a while. And I've never been the type to like idolize a person, especially like, how some people have their celebrity idols and they're like obsessed with Beyonce or whoever. I've never been obsessed with a celebrity like, oh my god, I need that person to breathe. You know what I mean? But I do admire certain people, especially when there's adversities and they face them, and it's just like cool to me to see the transformation. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and say Oprah, because I would like to kind of pick her brain and say, you know, what do you do to stay focused? And since I'm on that path of trying to get to the other side of my dreams and successes and things, I would want to kind of pick her brain to kind of say, hey, what'd you do when you felt this way? How did you get to this point in your life? What made you do that? You know what I mean? Like that kind of stuff. So it's always interesting for me, um, to kind of figure out how people succeed and how people get to the other side of things. And I always like the inspirational stories. So yeah, I think I would choose Oprah because you know she's Oprah. Duh. All right, number two. Would you like to be famous? In what way? Would I like to be famous? That's a that's kind of a double-sided question. Like, while would love to have the riches of the famous people, quote unquote, because some people are famous and they're broke. But if we're going general, if I could have the riches without the paparazzi and the people harassing you, or like evil people trying, because you're famous, they want to just kind of fuck with you. I would like to avoid that famous part, live a low-key life and just be more well off than famous. Put out my movies, put out my content, put out my work, and go home and live my life with my family, and you know just be happy and comfortable, minus the paparazzi and all the creepy stuff that famous people endure. Like, it would be nice for people to, I guess, know me or my work, but I wouldn't want to be like hounded by press and watched with a microscope, every little thing that I do, be questioned and on the tabloids, and like that would be exhausting for me. Like that would be a headache for me to endure that. So I would rather be wealthy than famous. And yeah, yeah, for my art and for my movies, I would like to do that. If you don't know, Marcy, so my big dream is to be a film director, to write, direct, produce, put out movies, TV shows, entertainment, um, even producing music. Like that would just be a big dream of mine, to have like a company that is responsible for the talent that comes through the radio, the television, the internet, like just to be a part of that in any small way would be amazing. But to be that on a bigger scale, like, my mind is blown. I can't even like put it into words right now, but that would be the what way. Number three, before making a phone call, do you ever rehearse what you are going to say and why? Depending on the phone call, I have rehearsed for like business type of things. Like, so say I'm calling to check on a job application, or to ask questions about a position, or even if it's like I'm talking to someone of a professional status, like a boss or a teacher or whatever. I have rehearsed for things like that. I was always super shy, so I never rehearsed. Okay, I'm gonna call my crush. I've never done that because I never was brave enough to do. I'm still kind of not brave enough to do that type of thing, which is probably why I'm still single AF right now. But I digress. um, yeah, I have rehearsed before making a phone call. All right, number 4. What would absolute perf- what would an absolute perfect day for you look like? Okay, well, for me, a perfect day would be I wake up with all the energy in the world. I would, secondly, accomplish maybe 5 amazing things, like get a client who wants a pair of custom shoes, get all my ideas on a page, like type out a good solid episode of a show that I'm working on, complete it and perfect. Third, I would want to accomplish like maybe a really good workout because I'm trying to keep my fitness. I'm trying to get my fitness up. Um, Obviously, the number one thing that I feel loved that whole day, and the fifth thing that I feel healthy, because I've had a lot of days where I felt like bad before I started trying to better myself. Like I would feel like, I don't know, splitting headaches that would last for a week, or I would just feel pain in random parts of my body, like my legs or my arms or my back or my stomach, or just for no reason. So I would feel good all day, have a good workout, feel loved all day, um, produce some content that's flawless, and um, have high energy. That would be a perfect day for me. All right, and this is the last one I'm going to read for now, and I'll probably read a few later. Number 5. When did you last sing to yourself or someone? Uh, okay. I sing to myself all the damn time because I have that kind of mind where a song will easily just pop into my head and be stuck for days. And I like to call myself like a Radiohead, where a song will pop into my head, and then it's like this performance, this stage, this exciting mashup of like 50 songs going and performing in my brain. So I sing to myself all the time. I'm not a great singer at all. um, my voice will probably make your ears bleed, but if I were to sing, I would probably sing to like my child who can't judge me, who probably would like, be like, ah, yay, I'm getting a song sung to me. But I would probably be too shy to sing to my significant other because I wouldn't want to be judged and told, to shut up. That would probably be embarrassing. I left all the singing to my ex-girlfriend. She was the singer. She had the voice of an angel. So, you know, it's not necessarily my forte as far as performing or whatever, but I always loved singing, but to myself, because I was always too damn shy to just put myself out there. So, yeah. So far, I've read 5 of the 36 questions that are said to make strangers fall in love with each other. So far, what do you guys think? Put in the comments below. Um, if you want to answer any of these questions, give me your answers to like your favorite question, or even your thoughts on this whole phenomenon that's sweeping the nation. What do you think? Do you feel that love can be controlled, requires work, or is a certain gravitational pull? It's a soul thing. What are your ideas about this topic? I'm going to take a quick break, and when we return, I'll read a few more questions. So far, I'm liking this. This is pretty fun. All right, we're back. So, where we left off, 36 questions that are said to make strangers fall in love with each other. Now, before the break, I read the first 5 questions. I'm going to read another 5 for time purposes. But I also wanted to let you know that these questions are in levels. So, the first 12 questions are like the easy, light-hearted ones. These questions get heavier. There's 3 levels. So there's an easy, medium, and I guess deep. So, it goes from simple things like who have you last sung to, or when was the last time you sang to someone, to death, to being grateful, to people in your life, like a problem you've had, like the worst problem you've had in life. Like, so these questions are really good, especially if you're a person who cannot conduct a conversation or control or orchestrate a conversation. Like, you have those awkward pauses or those moments of, okay, what do I do now? What do I say now? What do I bring up now? If you're I really do think that this is a good idea for a first date, honestly, strangely enough, because it gives you something to focus on, and it also gives you a chance to get to know someone else. So it's kind of back to what I was saying in an old video, how it kind of gives you sort of a twisted sense of romance, if you will, because you're kind of exposing yourself. You're exposing each other in a I don't want to say an intimate way, but you are leaving yourself kind of vulnerable because these questions get pretty deep. But yeah, I think that I would encourage somebody. Let me know in the comments. Post it in the comments if you do try this. What were the feelings that you had before and after? How do you feel this allowed you to connect? And I also have seen a video with this same idea, but it was geared towards older couples, and these couples were in their 50s, 60s, and 70s, and it kind of brought them closer together again. So you can even use this on your current spouse and See, especially, I feel like this would help if there's a couple and they're fighting a lot. This might kind of bring a little sense of togetherness to them. So, I mean, post that in the comments. If you've tried it, or if you do try it, come back and tell me, hey, I tried this and it worked. I tried this and it was nothing. It didn't do nothing for me. I still hate my wife. I still hate my husband. I still hate my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever. And just kind of, let's get that discussion kind of going. Because I'm kind of curious to know what other people, what normal people feel about this, because I don't know those people in the videos. For all I know, they could be actors or family members of the content creators. So anyway, to the last 5 questions. And I'm going to skip a couple because they're directly focused on the other person. Since there's nobody here, it's just me. I can't ask, hey, what do you think of your partner? Ain't no partner here. I'm not that crazy. Not yet. Anyway, so question number 6. If you were able to live to the age of 90 and either retain your mind or your body of a 30-year-old, what would you want? I thought about it, and well, my 30-year-old body is not anything to be excited about, so I would have to pick the 30-year-old mind, because the thing about the mind, it can be developed, it could be the body too. They can both be developed and nurtured, and they could be perfect, sort of, with all the care and maintenance that they each require. But the mind would be way more beneficial for me as a 90-year-old, because I wouldn't want to be in a nursing home. I've worked in one. It was a retirement home, and I've also worked with a patient at her home, and she was in her 90s, 93, I believe. And I would be probably sad if I started to lose my mind in that way, because I've seen how some people treat the elderly with Alzheimer's. And I grew up, my father had Alzheimer's, and up until his last days, he would go into these moments where he would remember, or he would think he was in 1980 or it was the 70s. Like it was crazy. It was a little trippy. And I feel like he started developing the Alzheimer's when I was about 11, because literally that's the last age he remembers me being. And so it's kind of funny to think about it now, and I'm like, I would rather keep my mind, because what 90-year-old has a six-pack anyway? So yeah, I would pick the mind. So number 7, do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? They're getting a little heavy now. So, do you have a secret hunch about how you will die? I've thought about this question before, because I don't know what it was. I was watching something on TV, and it played around with that idea of, if you had the option to know when you were going to die, would you want it? And it was a music video, and everybody had like these little countdown clocks over their heads. Some said, 2,000 days. Some said 18 minutes, like. that was crazy. So I was like, I wonder if how you live is how you will die. Like, say you're an adventurous person and you skydive and you jump off of bridges and you drive a motorcycle 200 miles an hour just for the adrenaline rush. Do people who do certain things die how they do those things? Like, if you're an overly cautious person, will you die from stress? If you're an overly extroverted person, will you die by, I don't know, a jealous spouse because you're too social? Like, I always kind of had that kind of thought process. And I feel that's how most people will or do die. So if I were to think about how I would die, I would probably die from either a heart attack or severe stress. Like my brain would explode or something. I would have an aneurysm. Something like that. You know, knock on wood. I'm not trying to die right now. I'm trying to experience life and be more interesting and do more things, but I think that that would be my way of going. That was a little heavy for me. So I'm gonna skip number 8 because it has to do with the other person. So number 9. For what in your life do you feel most grateful? What do I feel the most grateful for? I feel grateful for a lot of things, like second chances and being alive and, the will to survive and things like that. But what I'm most grateful for is, I guess I would say, my experiences. Even though I had a lot of hard ones, my experiences are what I'm most grateful for because they have shaped me to be quicker thinking and smarter on my toes and to solve problems easier or quicker. I've been shaped and molded from these experiences. So I would definitely say I'm the most grateful for my experiences. All right, moving on. Number 10. If you could change anything about the way you were raised, oh God, what would it be? I would definitely change the fact that I don't mind that my parents were older. When I was born, my father was 60. My mother was 54 or 56. And I kind of enjoyed that aspect of it because I got the old folks' wisdom. I got the old school knowledge. And you know what I mean? Like, I just wish that I was raised in a more vocal home. Like my mother, she internalizes a lot of things. And I think I get that from her because I internalize everything. Then I blow up years later and then I'm wondering why I'm having this, this meltdown. But yeah, I would like to have been raised with more open communication as well as I'll say open criticism as well as open accolades. I'm proud of you. I see what you're doing here, but this is better if you do it this way. It's like a little more guidance instead of, I don't know, figure it out. I don't know, do it yourself. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I heard that a lot. And it would have been good to have feedback. I guess I require a lot of dialogue, and that's probably exhausting for others, but that's how I process things. So I would have liked to have been raised with more dialogue as far as encouragement, as far as um, just opening up and connecting with each other. So that's my answer for that one. And the last question, I'm skipping number 11 because again it has to do with the partner. Number 12. If you could wake up tomorrow having gained any one quality or ability, what would that be? Hmm, what would that be? So I I am obsessed right now with just gaining more knowledge, self-worth, just being awesome. I'm obsessed with becoming what my definition of awesomeness is. So if I could gain an ability, I think the ability for me would be just one, confidence, because I lack that. Two, the ability to just be like effortless and charismatic. Like there's people out there who just, it seems like it just comes naturally to them. Whether it be a talent for fixing things or a talent for just knowing stuff, like just being automatically book smart. I want to be effortless and flawless, if that makes any sense. I would That would be the ability that I would want to gain, effortless flawlessness. So, yeah. So I'm going to stop there. I've answered 10 questions. I hope you are all in love with me. I'm just kidding. um, but yeah, it was pretty fun, and it made me think outside of my comfort zone, and it kind of made me think about the things I want to say the things that matter. Maybe, I don't know. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm rambling. It's what I do. So, anyway, 36 questions that potentially make you fall in love. Do you believe in it? Do you not? Let me know in the comments. And I'm going to leave you with this. Love is work, but it is attainable. It is beautiful. It is something that we all aspire to have in our lives, and we all deserve it. So, when you do find love, treat it right and honor it and cherish it. Be open, be honest, and don't be afraid to be vulnerable or to make mistakes, because they will happen. And not just in love, but just in life in general, as adults, even as teenagers, because we're constantly developing and becoming a more grounded version of ourselves that we will be at the end of our lives. So, don't stress. Enjoy life. Let life guide you. And be grateful for the ups and the downs is something that I'm learning right now. And just love each other. At the end of the day, just love each other. Period. Also, wanted to shout out, it is Pride Month. So happy Pride to my LGBTQ plus people. I will have a video for that a little bit later. But yeah, it's Pride Month, so get out, be safe, enjoy life, live life to the fullest, be rock stars in your own right, and just enjoy life. So, I'll leave leave you with that. I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I enjoyed my time with you. Until next time.